Look at that. Ain't that a beautiful sight? No, I'm not talking about the track hoe. I'm talking about that sun up there. After 11.35 inches of rain the last week, it's nice to see that sun back out and get these fields dried back up. But in the meantime, we can't wait for the fields to dry up. We were lucky enough to get this track hoe here for a couple of days, so let's put it to work. All right, first order of business before we actually get started in the field, we got a big problem up in my house. That pine tree right there died sometime last summer, and all winter long I've been scared to death that it's either going to fall on my garage right there or fall on my house. So I'm gonna get this thing on the ground and over in the bushes over there before it can do any kind of damage. Well, it didn't fall straight. It fell crooked for whatever reason. I guess there was one root I didn't get cut. Didn't do any damage to my garage though. My well house cover is gonna be a different story though. I don't see any water pouring out, so hopefully just the cover got damaged. So let me get this off of here, over into the trees on the other side there, and clean up my mess here. I think the damage is going to be a little worse than what I thought. Yep, a lot worse than I thought. Oh well, nothing a little PVC won't fix. All right, got it all repaired, but we're going to leave it tied up there so the glue can set on all of our fittings before we put all the weight of that pump and everything on there. Last thing I want that to do is to pull loose, so we can go ahead and take the track hoe, start cleaning up our big mess. Anyway, by the time we get it cleaned up, glue ought to be set enough to set that thing all the way back down and finish plumbing it up. All right, all fixed. Looks better than it did before. And the mess pretty much cleaned up. Just gonna have some scraping to do with a bucket there. Just finish getting it cleaned up and ship shape. Let the grass grow back. We'll be good to go. All it's left to do is find us a new well cover right there. Y'all got any clues where I can find an insulated fiberglass well cover like that? I've looked all over the internet and I've not been able to find them.
Duct tape.
The only thing I've been able to find is like decorative rocks and stuff, which I don't want anything like that. I just want a simple white fiberglass well cover. I don't want one of those big metal ones like I seen either. So if y'all know where I can find something similar to that, let me know in the comments, please. All right, getting that tree down and cleaned up took entirely way longer than what I was expecting. So we're gonna hurry up and get this thing loaded up on the trailer, get to the farm, get started on our real work. All right, I know we got a lot of Peterbilt fans out here. Here we are inside of a red Peterbilt. Pretty sharp looking truck. But I can tell you right now, I'm not going to be like all those other Peterbilt drivers. I like sitting up. Ah, much better. We're going to hurry up and get to the farm and get started. I'm sure George's got a whole lot of flood damage he wants to fix as soon as these waters recede, so I need to get done with this. All right, there goes Andy with the truck, because we sure can't pull in the field here and park here. We had to unload right here on the road. Always sketchy, it's the only way we could get it done. But anyway, we're over here on McClary's home place, and the owners who live in those houses right over there have been gracious enough to tell me I can come over here and get this farm cleaned up, because I showed you in a couple of videos ago, got a 22-acre farm here. It's cut up into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, cut up into 7 different fields, and most all of them got these tall trees all the way around them. Now this is productive soil over here, but just due to a lack of sunlight and all these trees pulling water and nutrients from around the edges, and there's a whole lot of edges over here, yield really suffers. But the landowner's been gracious enough to tell me I can come over here and get this cleaned up, get all these tree lines pushed back, limbs stripped off and everything, to really open up the sunlight to this field and hopefully make it a lot more productive. And I know the owners here, they really care about appearance, and that's why I never really approached them about cleaning it up, even though I knew it really helped the yield. They didn't know how much they would like, these tree lines kind of like cleaned up and cleaned up and everything else. But when I approached them last year, they said, yeah, go right ahead, be glad for you to do it. So I'm happy to be over here doing it. So my goal is get all this opened up, but try not to make it look like I made a big mess over here. And that's kind of going to be tricky, because we don't have a bulldozer over here. All we got is track hose. So we want to go around here, try to strip down and say all these limbs just leaning out over the edge of the field, strip them, and the scrub and stuff, kind of push it back. And then maybe tomorrow afternoon, maybe it'll be dry enough Andy can get the 4440 and the blade over here and kind of shape things up and push it up and make it look nice and neat. But I'm really excited about what the yield potential on this farm is going to be once we get it done. And our first crop on here is going to be cotton, and if there's one crop that really responds to sunlight and is really hurt by these tall trees, it's cotton over here. All right, we just got done going down both sides of that tree line, and that looks a whole lot better. Not going to scrape a cotton picker basket on those limbs anymore, but we still got a long ways to go all the way around here. And then we got the big bottom that I showed you. Got to go around both sides of it, and then in the back 2 fields, and then we got another 14-acre farm on the other side of that. So we still got our work cut out for us on getting all this ship shape. All right, last evening we made some real good progress on this tree line. Got everything reaching out across the field that I could reach. I mean, there's some up there that's too high for me to get, but you can see where the last corn row was that I planted right here. So I mean, all of this back over here, we got it cleaned out, looking good, and we've made it about halfway down, and we'll go up here and finish up the rest of it. On this side is next to the creek. There's a big creek running there, and most of those trees are like scrub trees. They just and they're real weak. They fall over easy. They really don't serve very much purpose. Once we go around this tree line over here, there's a bunch of oaks and stuff in there, and really all I have to do over there is just strip down limbs and everything, rather than just getting rid of a bunch of trees. So hopefully that side will go a whole lot quicker. 40 out here. He's been going down the tree line there, kind of cleaned up behind me. Doing a surprisingly good job considering how wet it is and considering it's a two-wheel drive tractor. And I finally got this grove of trees down, but let me tell you, that's a swampy mess. I don't know if we're going to be able to get this part planted or not. It's going to need a lot of work. I leveled it out as best I could, but it's a muddy mess right now. But hey, at least it's gone. We got a nice wide open area here. All three of these fields are now joined together, and might not get it planted this year, but with some more work, we'll have us a nice big field now. Anyway, I still got a long ways to go. We got one long tree line done, but we still got to go all the way around there, and then we got another 14-acre farm back there. Got to go around it, and then go back around this side. All right, I got my way working around the tree line here and seen this big monstrous tree that looked like it was right there on the edge of the creek. And anyway, it got blown down in my field, so I'm mighty glad I brought the track hoe over here, because that would have been hard to clean up with just the equipment I got. So I mean, it's got limbs way up in there. So that big old top, I'm just going to try and get it broken up, get the limbs. I love running a track hoe. They are just, it's absolutely amazing what they will do. Oh, that is one massive tree. That's a nice looking oak tree there. That makes some good firewood. There. Alright, we made it over here on Sharps, and here's a prime example of the problems with these fields. You can see right here at the edge of the cover crop, that's where our last row is. And right there you can see how everything is just leaning over the field. Even though there's nothing growing right here because we keep the bush hog, everything's leaning over the field, so our first row has to be pretty good ways away. And you know, we're down here in the nice bottom, and you know, we're losing productive ground right here. And then not to mention, of course, all the shade and everything. Look at all the shade falling on the field. And then this right here is what it looks like after it. You know, there's nothing leaning over the field. We got everything pushed back. I mean, heck, I can probably get another 7 or 8 rows right here, and I know it looks like a mess now, but say Andy over there, he makes this field, he's going around getting everything shaped up nice and neat. And then of course we'll probably have to bring a disc over here and get around the edges. But we did have a grove of trees jutting out right here, so we got that pushed back. So now we got, you know, some straight passes. There was another grove of trees right there jutting out, so we opened up all of this real nice, and then not only are we getting a little bit more land, but I mean, you know, we're gonna get a whole lot more sunlight on this productive bottom, which is really going to amplify the type of yield we can get on these farms. Well, I just got the phone call I've been expecting all day. It just happened to come a whole lot later than what I was expecting it to. A two-wheel drive 4440 with a blade and a bunch of mud doesn't make a very good combination. Apparently Andy's stuck back over here somewhere. I'm gonna run over here and find him and help him get out. Looks like his front end fell off in a hole here. There we go. Yeah, he fell off in a marshy place. I mean, this ain't got no bottom here at all. No bottom. I mean, press down on the ground and it just jiggles like jello. This ground right here ain't seen no tires or nothing in eons. All right, I don't know if you can see Andy over there in the distance, but he's about to get caught up with me, and even though that we got some good LED lights on that tractor, doing blade work in the dark is pretty dang impossible. But I sure would like to go around the rest of this field. We're about 2/3 of the way, and instead of clearing out, I'm just stripping limbs and pushing them back. I just gotta go around there, and I really don't like to track all the way back here in the morning, so we got a real good lighting system on this track hoe, so we're going to try and get this part of the farm done. We'll call it a day. Be back out in the morning. All right, we're getting close to done over here on McClary. Just got a few more tree lines to go around, but one of the big projects I was wanting to do over here is we got the big bottom down here, but we've also got this little field up here on top of the hill, and to get to it, the way we've been able to do it is to go all the way back up there by the road, come around, and then come down through the bottom, and got their yards and everything else, and it just makes navigating pretty difficult. But we got this little drive here that we used to use a long time ago, back when we had like 2-row cotton pickers and 4-row equipment and everything, and you know, we can make it down through here with no problem to get to from this upper field down here to the bottom, but we haven't been able to use it in quite a few years or whatever. So my goal is, while I've got the track over here, I'm gonna widen this drive out where it goes up here to the top of the hill, widen it out to about 45 feet or so, and be able to get up and down it with you know, combine headers, everything else with no problem. But it's mostly small trees right here we're going to have to remove. We do have this one big tree that I'm not even going to try to take it down. There's no way I'll be able to move it once I get it on the ground. So we're going to widen this out, and we'll be just about done with this farm. Well, I think I got the road widened out enough, and Eddie's over here just getting it shaped up where I had to move some dirt to level it out. We'll see what it all looks like when he gets done with it. I think it's going to be quite passable. All right, we've got around this top field. Let's check out this new drive now that Andy's he's done about as good a job as you can do with a blade on a 4440, and especially considering how wet it is. Looks pretty good. Now this ain't nothing but mud right here. We'll have to come back and do some more work to that when it dries up, but overall that will work. I can get my all my headers through there, get my planter through here. That sure is going to make things a whole lot more convenient over here. All right, we finally got done over at McClary's and Sharps. We got moved over here to Clanton. Don't have a whole heck of a lot to do over here, but do have one problem there. It's been bugging me ever since I started farming this farm. Quite a few years ago, the previous farmer landowners had a track over here and cleaned out a bunch of tree lines and joined a bunch of fields and made this a great farm to farm. However, for some unknown reason, they left this little grove of trees right here in the middle of this field that we had to farm around. Terribly inconvenient. Perhaps it was this gigantic oak tree that was right there in the middle that they knew that they couldn't move it, so they just decided to leave this little spot of trees. That's what I'm guessing the reason is. Well, you can tell that oak tree is falling over, and we've kind of cut it up and pushed it off the side. But while I got this machine right here, I'm gonna get this cleaned up to where, you know, we ain't got to drive around and we can just have rows coming straight across here and make this just a little bit more easier, a little bit more convenient. However, because we don't have a dozer and stuff over here, and Andy's got to get the litter stuff serviced and ready to go tomorrow. He took the 4440 back to the shop, so I'm going to have to haul all this stuff. Probably closest place going to be that tree line right over there. So be several trips, but won't be that big of an ordeal. Biggest question is, how is this thing going to be to move? Hopefully, since it's dead and dried out. Oh yeah, I'll be able to move it without any problem. Just going to make quite a few trips. All right, got that spot cleared out, kind of leveled off and everything and cleaned up. I mean, if I absolutely had to, I could plant across it. Hopefully we'll have some time to come over here and shake this up a little bit better before we do get to planting season, but that's going to make this field a whole lot nicer. Boy, look at all that clover down there. This field was in cotton last year, and we had it aerial seeded, but the blend I was putting out was just strictly grasses. It was annual ryegrass, cereal rye, and oats. But crimson clover or any kind of clover was not in the mix. What happened is the crimson clover that we had in our cover crop mix last year before we planted cotton went to seed, and then it germinated this fall, so we got 3 cover crop. However, it's not really one that I'm really wanting because you know, clover produces nitrogen. We have soybeans down here, and I really don't want a lot of residual nitrogen for the soybean crop. Otherwise, the soybeans could get lazy and not ramp up nitrogen production of their own when I need it to. So, don't really think it's going to be a big issue. But it's just kind of interesting how much volunteer clover we got coming up out here. All right, well, I got the track over here on this farm and got a little bit of daylight left. Here's our ford to get from the big bottom to the back bottom over there. And a few videos ago when we're spreading litter, Andy was going through this at night and drug the back of the buggy on these rocks, and what bent everything. And you can tell from all the rains we had last week, I mean, this creek got high, and look at all this silt and sand. It just washed up in here, and I mean, this stuff ain't nothing but a slick, muddy mess right here. And while I got the track over here, I'm gonna try and get this shaped up so when we get over here with the planter, don't have any work to do, and we can just cross that thing and go to planting. Look, I mean, this ain't nothing but just pure muddy silt. It don't never dry up. I mean, look at that. Sand and silt, all that is. Well guys, I know you can't see me very well, but anyway, over here we got the track hoe loaded on the trailer. We're done with it, ready to go home. Anyway, got everything loaded up, got the trunk cranked, and realized headlights on that truck don't work. So I just had to call Kelly. It's about 11 o'clock at night. Had to call her, wake her up, and beg for a ride home, because I sure don't feel like walking home. I'm about 6 miles away from home. So anyway, we're gonna sit here and wait on the ride, but we got done with it, got everything we wanted to do done with it. And a huge thanks to Jordan for letting me use the track hoe, truck and trailer, and everything else. I think we really improved a couple of farms. I know there's sure going to be a lot more fun to farm this year. So anyway guys, we're going to wait on Kelly. I'm about ready to get home, give me a bite to eat. I'm hungry. Hit the sack, be ready for another long day tomorrow. Appreciate y'all watching. See you in the next one.